of the major challenges that Kenya faces, and in many cases, local communities and leaders have been accused of being complicit. Security agencies are currently meeting in Mandera to discuss ways of countering terrorism, especially homegrown terrorism. Seth Olale has been following those proceedings. Seth, what more has been said?
Well, thank you so much, Gladys. Very firm sentiments from the county commissioner, who did not mince his words. He said that this has to be a team effort, and of course he blamed some government officials, including a local chief, for switching off his phone when a terror attack did happen here in Mandera County. But also the commissioner did say that he needs collaboration, especially from key stakeholders, including the county government. And that is why I want to bring in right now Mandera County boss, that is Ali Roba. This is a one-day anti-terrorism and extremism symposium. It is not the first time it is happening, but there have been terror attacks.
Yes, there has been terror attacks. However, if you look at the history of, at least as far as devolution is concerned, from the advent of devolution until now, if we draw a graph, there has been a reducing trend in terms of the frequency of occurrence and the severity of the occurrences within the region. The reason why we are doing this is, yes, because we cannot, we've not exhaustively handled it. We still are dealing with the challenges as it's happening. Even though the frequency has reduced, it's critical for us to continue consulting, because terror is extremely dynamic. It keeps changing tact, and we also need to keep changing tact, both from the community perspective and the security perspective, in order to make sure that jointly, as they change tact, and we are changing tact. For example, now the Mandera-Lafe Road, that was the worst in the region, has improved, and now we are having new trend from Ramo to Banisa, which has never occurred. It has never been reported, where terror cells have been reported and attack has occurred on the mast. And that is what we want to counter, so that we continue engaging to see what has changed, where are the gaps, and what do we need to do jointly, not only the security, but also the community and the leadership.
And some of the gaps you mentioned is sharing intelligence, and intelligence not being acted upon by security agencies. And you emphasize that there is need for this intelligence at whatever level needs to be acted upon first.
Yes, we need to be as dynamic as terror itself, in my view, and as such, one of the inputs that we emphasize is the communities to report wherever sightings they see, the security to respond as urgently and as timely as urgently as possible in order to deal with this challenge. And once we get a few successful, engagement with this, we're sure Al-Shabaab does not want to die. They want to continue attacking successfully. If they are countered, we know that that is going to change, and that's what we are exploring here, so that also we build the relationship between security and community, and we also look at what are the changing trends and what do we need to do, all of us.
Governor, before I let you go and bring in the county commissioner, Onesmus Chatha, just address the issue about education, and especially in terms of teaching staff, because we have information that non-local teachers are actually fleeing back to other areas, and this is going to be a crisis in terms as far as education is concerned. What is being done?
It has been a crisis for us for the last 10 years, and the trend has been continuing. And what we are doing right now is, the education sector is crumbling. So the county government is unable to attract professionals to come and work in the county as a result of fear. What we want the public to understand, and that is the essence of the function today, is to get to understand a few non-locals could be targeted by Al-Shabaab. While they kill only Somalis in Somalia across the border, they'll attempt to create an impression that they're targeting non-locals. But what we want the public to understand is for them to know that the Al-Shabaab is not targeting non-locals, but the fabric and existence of the community, where health sector is affected, education is affected, trade is affected, the socio-economic life of the population is affected, and that is what we want them to know, and so that they can have the urge and resentment required to deal with the challenge.
Thank you, Governor. We don't have much time, but just before we end this live broadcast from Mandera, I just want to bring in the county commissioner, and you did say that you need more cooperation from the community, and you even blamed a local chief who's a government official from switching off his phone when a terror attack was happening.
What I want to say is that this function is quite important for all of us as a county, both in the national government and the county government, because we have to work cohesively, both the levels of government and also the locals, the residents, in order to weed out this kind of menace in our county. I must agree that we have not received maximum cooperation from the residents, because sometimes they understand, they can be able to predict when an attack is happening, and they don't report on time. And these are the issues we want to discuss here and agree, including the leadership, so that we work very cohesively, so that we can be swift in dealing with this menace. That is what we want to engage the community. Community engagement is very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That has been Onesmus Chatha, who is a county commissioner. Remember that this is a one-day anti-terrorism and extremism symposium being hosted by Mandera Governor Ali Roba. It has brought together community leaders from various sectors, as well as senior and top security personnel led there by Onesmus Chatha, who is the county commissioner. Of course, we shall update viewers on more on this in our subsequent bulletins. Gladys.